Oh, welcome everybody to Trades of the Week, where myself, Marcus de Maria, and Dennis Salstrom this week are going to be taking you through what we're getting into and out of with stocks, cryptos. And I tell you what, stay tuned, because this week we're talking about the DCG Genesis debacle and why we are taking our coins off every single exchange we possibly can and putting them into our hard wallets. We'll be talking about stocks, trading, investing, and much, much more. Let's start off, Dennis, well, first of all, hello, Dennis.
Hi, good to see you.
Good to see you. And let's start off with the Buffalo first, because I think we got some winners this week.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely. So having a look at SEDG, Solar Technologies, very close to Genesis, DC something, but SEDG. And we're actually up 3.5%. So we're getting the stop loss right up there at 3% profit. So we're locking that in. So I think it's time to move. Or is it too early?
Too early to move, but
too early. All right, fine.
Very close.
Very close, but 3%. So well done if you're in this. And besides from that, then we are in some other positions. KRP, we were in profit, slight loss at the moment. ESPR have almost took us out, but we had our stop loss. This is why it's so important to have the stop loss right below the support level, because it might go down there again and then go up, which is what
it's got to be below
now.
Right? Give it what we call in the trade a bit of fluff. Don't put it exactly at the support level, a little bit below, because it doesn't know exactly where to start buying. So just slightly below. So a little bit in profit there. Very good.
Yeah, a little bit in profit on AB, but just hovering around the entry point. And AVNS, we're in a slight loss on that one.
Could be a good entry point for somebody looking at this. Make sure you do your own research. We're going short on this one here. It's got a good risk-reward ratio. That looks a lot more than a 1 to 3 there, Dennis.
Yeah, we have a roughly 4.6 on this, which is really nice. And
that's nice.
Currently, we're in 3 longs and 2 shorts. We're going to add a new short today. But before we get into that, we just want to cover some major points that happen in the stock market. So the few points to cover here basically is that we might see a policy shift for the Fed. We've been speaking, it's a bit of a recurring theme here, right? It's a bit boring in that sense that it's the same thing. But based on the news, I'm going to summarize this in a sentence. All right, here we go. So it's going to be a long sentence. So when we look at the Fed announcement, they announced that they might not raise rates as much as before, which has driven the market up in the shorter term at least. So in the shorter term, we're bullish. We might see that with the Santa Claus rally. But then, of course, we might see the job market is still consistent and strong. So that might spur them to keep raising the rates in 2023. So we might see some more downside in the economy and market. So on the back of that, we are a bit bullish in the shorter term, but could also, of course, be a bit bearish after Christmas and into 2023. So what are we doing? Well,
so that really helped. Thank you. That was really, really helped. So basically, they might, but then again, they may not. But basically, so in the short term, but then again, so how does that help? It doesn't help. Come on.
Yeah. So what we're doing is, since we don't know, we are hedged. We have 3 longs and we have 3 short positions with the Buffalo. And the one we're adding is Gladstone Commercial Corporation. So where we have a nice Buffalo, almost 4% if it goes all the way down, which we hope, of course. So that could be a good Buffalo to have a look at.
Absolutely. Make sure you do your own research. In other news, Apple are planning on banning, this is slightly crypto news, but it's Apple are banning all crypto apps at the moment and want to charge the exchanges for having them on Apple. So why do you think they're doing that? I think Apple are looking to dominate in the future. That's what they're looking to do. No competition.
I think so. And can you imagine as well that every app that are used on App Store or that people list, they need to pay Apple 30% of the revenue? What an amazing business idea. That's something we can do as well.
But it's bad for the consumer, right? When that kind of thing happens, when there's no competition allowed and the monopolies just choke them off, it's always bad for the consumer, for you and me. What is much better is that there is lots of competition and people get to choose. So let's have a look at the one. Is it good?
Good. It looks really good for going down. So I do like that. But there is one I do need to talk to you guys about. We had an order on GIII, and I know that some of you might have been in this, and during earnings, it came crashing down, and you could have made 4, 5, 6% on your whole portfolio. congratulations for that. But one distinction I want to make is this: we were not in this because it was too close to earnings is one reason, which is why it says no trade on there. So there is a distinction between a good trade and a bad trade. You can have losing trades, but that is when you follow your strategy. But this could really have gapped up instead and so you could have had a 5, 6, 7% loss. So this would have been a bad trade because it's not part of our rules to enter that close around earnings and be in over earnings as well. So we just a distinction for you. So make sure you make that call to make sure you follow your strategy and don't be too happy with this win because this would be a bad trade. So that's just important to mention, I think.
Follow the rules. Okay, good. Do we have any new trades to come into, or that is it?
Well, good was it today. So now we're in 3 long positions and 3 shorts.
All right, thank you. So let's have a look at the crypto market. Lots going on, and basically Gemini, the DCG Genesis Gemini debacle. Dennis, do you want to take us through that?
Yeah, sure. So what's basically happening, Genesis is a big player in the crypto market and has been with the crypto market for years. And they're basically for institutions to be able to a platform for them to trade and invest. So among other, Grayscale are using Genesis for their assets, and they're a big part. They own shares in Genesis, etc. So if Genesis goes under with hundreds of millions, that might not be good. So it's been rumored that they have problems with their finances, liquidity, and the money. So if they go bankrupt, that might have huge precautions for the market itself.
Repercussions. Okay, but what kind of repercussions? I mean, okay, the market, but what's not clear to me is this whole, what does that mean for Grayscale?
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't think anyone has the answer to that just yet. But since Grayscale has a lot of funds on Genesis, I think some of those might be lost. And also that they own a part of Genesis. They're one of the founding members, if I understood that correctly. So they will get a big hit for that as well. I don't think they would go bankrupt. But Genesis themselves has big holdings in Bitcoin, Ethereum. So yeah, market would go down. And if they're selling it on exchanges, and we don't know exactly if exchanges are involved in Genesis either. So it might just bring the market down, and with the market, panic in the market, people selling, taking money off exchanges, which might bring more exchanges down as well.
So what we need to do, I mean, I can just tell you what I've been doing, as you know, Dennis, is taking my coins as much as possible off the exchanges, right? Making sure that they're on your Ledger, your hard wallet, or your Trezor hard wallet, or whatever that you have. And they should have been there anyway, unless you're really trading on a daily basis, in, out, really, you should be taking those off. Is that what you're doing as well, Dennis?
Absolutely. So really having all the money on wallets where I can and avoid using exchanges. And when I do, I only use the biggest ones, such as Binance and even Coinbase. But I just have them on them momentarily, and then I take them off.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at even Kraken, for example, and I'm sure they're not the only ones, they're firing 30% of their staff, which sounds bad, but is actually good, because then they'll save money and then they'll be stronger. But obviously it just goes to show you, sign of the times, we are suffering this bear market.
But there are positive news.
Positive news.
Yes.
Do you want to look at any particular ones, or you want to go into some more news?
Yeah, we can look at a few this piece of news first, because it's not only doom and gloom. So one of the positive notes are Goldman Sachs. They have spent tens of millions to invest in crypto firms after FTX went under, which was not that long ago. So Goldman Sachs, among others, are actually investing into the crypto market, but obviously they're using their strategy.
Yeah,
and
there's some interesting opportunities out there right now for people, right? Obviously, they're waiting, and they see, wow, these are cheap right now, so that they're getting in. So it's good to see an institution like Goldman Sachs doing that.
Think so. And I mean, if you look at crypto such as Bitcoin being down 75%, for those of you who are new, what an opportunity to be able to get in, we believe, at $16,000, $17,000 when Bitcoin has fallen this much.
I'm almost jealous, honestly, for the people that do your research. And that's why it's so important, by the way, that you do subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and do that now, so you don't miss out on this, because for you, go ahead and do that now. The reason is because think about it. For you to get in to Bitcoin, it's the purest peer-to-peer system, blockchain, layer one. For you to get in at -75, totally decentralized, right? This is like the safest play that you possibly can do in cryptocurrencies. That's my opinion anyway. And I keep buying, but I also bought, much higher than this. And for you to be able to enter now, that is amazing. Do your research. Don't put all your money in. We're hoping it's going to go even lower. But look, I wouldn't wait for it to go even lower. Timing the market, you don't know what's going to happen. Do you know what's going to happen? Dennis, do you know what's going to happen?
No, but I do know that I'm going to follow my strategy no matter what.
All right, very, very good. Okay, brilliant. So what else have we got?
Yeah, so the same with all the others, right? Ethereum is also down the drain. We have entered down at the 80% drop. So now it's hovering between the 70 and 80% drop. But there are particularly two coins I want to highlight today as well. So one of these coins are Link. We spoke about that last week. It's down 80%.
Yeah. So this is a good question. So before you go into so if somebody's coming in new, apart from Bitcoin, what would you buy?
Great question. And don't hold me to this. Well, yeah, you can hold me to this. So what I would buy is definitely Bitcoin, Ethereum. But besides from those, I would buy the platforms, the layer ones, the projects I believe that would be here for the next 10, 15 years. Not necessarily individual games, because that's too risky. More like
that would be speculating, right? That would be like, oh, this could go up a lot, but it might also go to zero. Whereas some of these, the ones we're talking about, I mean, even Link, right? Solid, use case, Oracle, etc. So let's talk about Link.
Yeah. So what I like about Link is there are right now, this is a blockchain that connects live world applications with the blockchain and help the blockchains communicate with each other, also called an Opera platform. Now, what they're doing now is that they can try to restore trust because they have ways where they can link data together. So now a lot of faith has been lost with the centralized exchanges because of what happened with FTX. There's rumors about, crypto.com, etc. People taking money off exchanges. But they have found a way where they can link the reporting to the platform or to the exchange. So by using Link, it can restore trust. You can see what they have on their balance sheet for a fact and really see if the exchange are in trouble or not. So you can really trust that. It's on-chain analysis, it's called. Just one of the features. So
what would you do? What would you do on this one here, Dennis? Would you buy it for the long term or medium term, or would you trade it? Because I'm just looking, maybe a little bit of both, because I'm looking at this sideways kind of buffalo, if you like. And really, it's going from around $5.50 up to about $9. I mean, that is a huge percentage. It's going up, down, up, down, up. And this is a real trader's market at the moment. Yeah,
it sure is. The market has been going sideways ever since May, basically. So yeah, I'm definitely invested. It's down over 80%. So I'm definitely invested. But yeah, that would be an awesome opportunity. We're using strategies such as Slingshot for Link as well.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. So yeah,
there's one more coin I would like to highlight, and that is Uniswap. If I can.
Decentralization. Yes.
Yeah, so down 43%. That's what we were getting last time. We were speaking about this before, but if you're new, this might be an option as well, because people are losing faith in the centralized exchanges. Decentralized is the biggest one on Ethereum, Uniswap. And we believe this could be a really good opportunity as well now when people are moving over to the more decentralized way to buy their coins.
Okay, make sure you do your own research on that one, but it does sound like the trend towards decentralization, which we need, because everybody was saying, oh, look, cryptos, look at FTX, look at... They were all centralized. That's the point. That was basically traditional finance, right? Was no kind of DeFi. It was nothing like that. Uniswap is decentralized, and yeah, makes sense. Okay, so let's have a look at our investing VCA strategy.
Yeah, let's absolutely do that. But just to mention this as well, one coin we would avoid is Terra Luna, because that has fallen so much.
Why are we? Well, of course you avoid Terra Luna. Why would you not? Is there something happening? What's going on?
No,
you're talking about the classic.
Yeah. So what has happened?
Okay, why would you get into this
it's
one?
fallen down quite a lot. So we took a loss on this, but you can see it has these pumps that really gets people in up to 300%. But the reason we are not getting into these coins is because the fundamentals has not changed. The CEO and founder Do Kwon, he has failed numerous projects now, and this is just too risky for us. So we are not getting into
investing,
Luna.
right? This isn't even trading. This is gambling stroke speculating.
Yeah.
Please don't get suckered into this. Oh, but it went up like this. But that's just a pump and dump scheme where maybe a WhatsApp group decided to do this. And as people saw it, then maybe they spread some news on some threads and stuff and everybody gets in. But as everybody gets in, those people that pumped it come out. It's a pump and dump. Don't get involved in this. And even if this one goes back to where it was, I still stand by what I say. Do not speculate. Make sure you have a strategy. There is no strategy with this one here. Okay, so avoid. Boop, boop. Dive.
Absolutely.
Right.
So yes, a quick update then on the VCAs as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
Yeah, exciting. So what we have here is really two companies I want to give you an update on, and that is FMC Corporation. We have the stop loss now at plus 15%. We've been reaping the rewards now for a couple of weeks and taking quite a good percentage from our VCAs. The same with MasterCard. We put the stop loss at 15% as well because we entered one time and then it's gone up after that. So really, really promising. And the one we're adding today is Amazon. We've been in this before, in and out. And the reason we're adding this is many. This is a really solid company. We're going to look at the fundamentals in a moment, but they have been chosen. They're really getting into cryptos as well. Like Ethereum, one of the biggest blockchains in the world, are hosting 60% of their nodes of Amazon Web Service. They're also been chosen to test a crypto from the European Union in 2023 as well. One of 5 companies.
Crypto, did you say?
Well, I mean, a centralized digital currency.
Come on, man. That is not a cryptocurrency. I'm going to give you a boo, Dennis. Boo.
I apologize. I absolutely agree. But it
takes a great man to apologize. What that is a digital currency, but it is not a cryptocurrency. That's very, very important because they are centralized. And so you're saying that Amazon has been chosen amongst some others to actually test, one of 5. And also Amazon is planning to fire 20,000 employees. Imagine firing 20,000 employees. How do you even do that? Like on a one-on-one basis, say, sorry, I'm really sorry. And like, next, how do you even do that?
You know what Klarna did? Klarna sent out a pre-recorded sue message to fire 700 or so. I don't know. But wow. I just thought about that. Imagine, what do you do with that big hole of missing people? It's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. But you asked it. You shouldn't say that your questions are good. But anyway, so what do you think? What do you think? We're going to get into this one here?
I really like it. It's down 40% from the high, and it's down more than 50% from the all-time high. So I believe
it's got some support. It's got some support there. You just showed there on the left as well. Obviously, with Christmas coming up, who's not going to use Amazon? I mean, we were just before there looking at some what were golden bulls and buffaloes and well, not buffaloes, but bears. So we're going to use them over Christmas time. So so that one there is a long-term, but it is active investing. It's not just buy and hold. So we're going to be using our value cost averaging strategy, and hopefully it comes down a little bit more. We add a little bit more money to it, and then as it turns into, just like the 2 that you showed before, at 15%, we then put a stop loss in. But at the moment, no stop loss at all. Did you want to have a look at the fundamentals quickly? Is that what you said?
Yeah, absolutely. So with Amazon, you can see the trend down here. Earnings per share is looking solid. Same with sales, even though they go down a bit. I mean, just look at they are projected to make 26% year on year on the earnings for the next 5 years. It's just a really good company, I believe, overall, and they have solid numbers. Just looking at the size of the company when it comes to return on assets, equity, and investment. So yeah, I think this is just a no-brainer to get in when this is down to make a quick 15-20%.
Is looking good. And hopefully it doesn't go straight up, right? Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it comes down so we can buy a little bit more, right? I know people don't like that, but that is the way to make money, is when something that you like actually becomes cheaper. Okay, so that's good. So how about the results? And has the Buffalo moved at all? Because we are not doing very well this year with the Buffalo. Last year was great. This year is not great. It's even worse. What is going on, Dennis?
You know what I think? I think we need to change the name, because Buffalo does go sideways, which is what our results have been doing as well for quite a while for Buffalo.
So yeah, Okay, so Buffalo 60.2%, but that is over 2 years, and that shouldn't be the case. That should be high. I mean, it's not bad, right? But we're not in the game of bad. We're in the game of good. So actually, we should be up higher than that. Value cost averaging, though, is going up at 2,006%. So it's breached the 2,000%. Well done. Big round of applause there, Dennis. Woo! That's on the money invested and in our pocket, which is great. Now, we are obviously still live on positions in this bear market, but notice that we are still making money in a bear market, even though that we're buying, because we have that strategy. Cryptocurrency results, CCA seems to be stagnant because we're not getting into many new positions at 1,510% on the money invested, and the small cap 4,120%, and that's since August 2020. Not bad, not bad, but I want to do better. But anyway, let's keep going. It's all about peaks and troughs and cycles, and at the moment, of course, we are in a bear cycle, which is fine, which is absolutely fine. By the way, I don't mind bear cycles. Why? Because stocks do need to go down for me to be able to buy them cheaper. So actually, although everybody just wants things to go up all the time, when are you going to get in, right? So this is actually a really good time. As I always say, there's a time to sow the seeds and a time to reap, right? And this one is definitely the time to be sowing. Okay, so please do make sure that you hit that like button if you enjoyed this week's episode. However, more important is that you do hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and do that now so you don't miss out what we're getting into and out of in all kinds of asset classes, but also strategies as well. And we look forward to seeing you next week on Trades of the Week.